It's Hearts Standard. I'm Craig Cairns. That's Joe Skid, and I'm about to start making arguments for summer football. We've just watched Hearts draw 0-0 with Aberdeen at Pittodrie. It's now 4 unbeaten. But, as has been a common theme throughout this season, Joel, it was a little bit of a missed opportunity. Not even a little bit.
That scene from The Simpsons where Bart say the line. Yeah, it's... The thing is, you're looking at it and thinking, right, 0-0's been solid. It's before the penalty, the frustration was hadn't created enough chances from the possession that the team had, or the control the team had after some difficult moments to begin the game. And you just thought Hearts were the team in the ascendancy, Hearts were the better side overall, without actually doing enough to win the game. I think, right, come up, get a draw. Not ideal, not broken the hoodoo, but you've continued that unbeaten record. You've continued the kind of positivity, and you come away with it feeling like it's like a defeat. I mean, we going back to the 3-2 game, we both stood here. We're absolutely gutted with it, just because of the manner of the game, the performance Hearts put in. Hearts probably played a lot better that day in terms of chance creation and looking more of a threat, and then to have the perfect opportunity to win it with a penalty deep into stoppage time. I just look at that. I know I got a fair bit of stick on social media and from pals talking about potential Euro contention. By winning it, just score the penalty, you're moving up the table. You're only 8 points off Aberdeen of 4th, then obviously 5th is a potential for space into Europe, but you actually need to score the penalty, like Hearts need to actually win games when they've got this great opportunity. And then Jorge Grant did it.
I mean, do you think it would have been deserved if Hearts had won at the end? Because like you say, I think maybe just edged it, especially in the second half. I think Aberdeen maybe had the better of the first half, but do you think it would have been a bit harsher in Aberdeen if Hearts had taken all 3 points?
I couldn't give a flying yes.
I know we're not talking here from the perspective of Aberdeen, but do you think to swing it like Hearts' way, do you think Hearts would have been slightly lucky to take all 3 points if Grant had scored?
I don't think so. I think it would. It's always. I think you basically deserve in football. It's ultimately you deserve what you get, or deserve what you produce. I thought Hearts were the better side over the 90 minutes. Aberdeen created the better chances, I think, and then that's where you've got the balance where you think, right, okay, probably a draw is a fair result. Aberdeen missed 2, certainly first half, a couple of really, really good chances, but I thought Hearts had better control, and where the team, if the game continued to play, Hearts were going to be the team that probably won it.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's totally fair. Hearts were definitely looking like the most likely to score for most of that second half, not just the closing stages of the game. What do you think went? It wasn't the best first half performance. Where do you think it went wrong? I put in the instant analysis that it would have been interesting to see how the game would have panned out if Oyegoke hadn't fallen over the ball 30 seconds in, because you could see Hearts' intention was they attacked right away from centre, they pressed, Sivert Nielsen gets the ball and they force him into playing a loose pass. Oyegoke gets to the ball but then falls over. Aberdeen go on the attack, 3 corners in a row, they almost forced one of them over the line. Aberdeen got a bit of momentum from that. It gave them a little bit of a wee bit of spark. I wonder if Hearts had sort of kept that initial bit of pressure on, how the game would have kind of panned out after that, because let's not forget Aberdeen are in a really low place confidence wise.
Yes, first half there were some really inept moments of football. There was like some really, really low quality moments of football. In general for Hearts, I thought Liam Boyce was a massive miss. Something just wasn't quite right between the midfield and attack. And then you had James Wilson felt like he got quite isolated. There was a moment where Grant, who was the number 10, who was meant to kind of fill that link between the midfield and Wilson, he was dropped, and he was between Benny and Cammy Devlin, but deeper, and he played a pass that he's just like, why are you there? You don't need to do that. And then you need to get him on the ball further up. When he did, I think a lot of it was safe. Asked Critchley afterwards, and he talked about Jorge Grant giving control. He just didn't give Hearts penetration. There was a moment I think we both recognised it in the second half. He got the ball. Blair Spittle makes a great run. Darts into space just outside the kind of left hand as Hearts are attacking just outside Aberdeen box. Grant doesn't play the pass. I think he sees it. He doesn't play it, and it's safe. And there was just lack of getting into that final third, there was that lack of ambition, there was lack of putting it into the right areas and putting Aberdeen under more pressure. Not just like putting like the ball on top of them. There was plenty of that, and Wilson was up against a couple of physical guys, and that's not his game. You've written about it. We've seen it, and I just lacked that bit in the final third until Elton Kabangu came on.
Just before we do get to him, I was going to kind of finish off with talking about the two new boys.
Yep.
Full debut for Jamie McCart. I thought it was quite interesting what Neil Critchley said afterwards, that he's not been used to. I'm guessing he's talking about in-game, because I'm sure he would have been given instructions and things like that before the game. But he's talking about how he stepped in with his man, and they had to get him in at half-time and say, that's not how we defend, we want you to sit off. And you kind of, I know the chance he's talking about, one of the ones where Kiskinen gets in behind. I suppose that was one thing. The Hearts were slightly lucky that Kiskinen can't finish, because he did get into some good positions towards the in the first half. But yeah, it was really interesting. And in the second half, the defending was a lot more assured, not just from McCart but from the whole back four. He was getting his body on the line, he was getting defended. He's a big laddie, and he's definitely going to be, him and Halkett in the centre defence, not going to lose many defensive headers.
Absolutely. I thought as the game went on, as the game went on, they just grew and grew as a partnership, and they were just really solid. I have to give credit to Halkett. I think there was a few eyebrows raised when he came back in for Oyegoki, because Oyegoki had played well at Ross County centre back. Halkett came in. Halkett's been brilliant. Not put a foot wrong in those last few games. Everything you want as a Scottish football centre back, and as a partnership, ideal in Scottish football, because they're big guys. They get their, like you said, they get their body in. They block shots. McCart had a brilliant block in the second half when he slid, and it did initially feel like they were just kind of settling in together, and Critchley obviously provided that bit of insight, which when you think about it made plenty of sense. So yeah, really encouraging for McCart. A wee bit unsure to begin with, but steady on the ball and just defensively, everything you want, just a defender. Yeah,
more of that please. And like you say, since the Ross County game, defence hasn't conceded a goal since that game, so yeah, really good going. Elton Kabangu came on, he really made a difference, didn't he? Now, I'm not going to get too excited with a 20-minute substitute appearance, but if he fulfills his potential, he's going to be a really good player. You can just tell he's got good technique, he's got a good first touch, he got into good positions, he got on the end of two crosses. Okay, one he's blocked out by a defender, the other one he has Hearts' best attempt of the game. Really encouraging, I thought.
Yes,
I'm not going to get carried away. I have to stress, I'm not getting carried away here.
No, it's absolutely encouraging, and again we kind of refer back to what Critchley said afterwards, and he talked about the bit where Kenneth Vargas got down the right hand side, and then Elton Kabangu was in that position to score. And I think that's a big thing, is that Kabangu seems like he's going to be a striker who's always going to be in. He's not going to be waiting around. Yeah. Sometimes you'll see a forward and you're like, where are they? Why are they not in the position to score? Whereas I think Kabangu is going to be in those positions, whether it's a low cross, it's getting to the byline, cutting it back, or it's kind of running in behind him. We've seen it so much this season with the amount of balls that have been put in the box, and Penrice has got into really good areas and put balls into really good areas, but just no one there. So yeah, that's it was an encouraging debut, and hopefully see a bit more of him. And you're kind of looking with the difficulty of replacing Boyce. If Shankland's going to be in still out, then you could get away with playing them together. Looked okay.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I was just slightly surprised. I thought somebody might have gone out wide when he came on, but it made sense given what Critchley was saying towards the end of the game, that Aberdeen are in a precarious position, and closing stages of the game they're going to be like more nervous. And so
they had Paul Vara at centre back as
well. Yeah, they had a makeshift centre half and their second choice goalkeeper as well. But yeah, just as usual. And so you don't interrupt my outro, is there any other business?
Just Jorge Grant.
Oh yeah, we've not even. I've blanked it from my memory already. Pretty confident of him scoring him when he steps up as well, because he's hit a good penalty in the past.
He has, but in this situation, I was just thinking he's.
Well, you were kind of a wee bit happy that he missed it, so you didn't have to do rewrites, weren't you?
Absolutely not. Do not worry. I had it written that I had something else written for Hearts ending this. This hoodoo at Pittodrie. So my concern was just big moments in George Grant's career at Hearts. Zurich, the last time at Aberdeen, today at Aberdeen, and then there's just been the other wee bits of moments where he's either been the nearly man, he's nearly gone and done something brilliant, or gone and put in a starring performance and he's not quite reached it, or he's done something that's just been memorable for the wrong reasons, been frustration or like that. The Zurich game kind of set the tone, almost set the tone for his Hearts career, and then that kind of summed it up. I've dealt with him, and really nice guy, but it's just not worked. It's just not worked for him. And we've been asked about odds like after his form recently in centre midfield, which he's been great, and he put on a great ball for Elton Kabangu when it went out right. But like, would you extend him? Just like it just seems to have not worked. Like, you know how you get players that go to clubs like Rudy Scaccio. It's just meant to be at Hearts. Like Jorge Grant's, it's been the opposite way. So I know a lot of fans will be spewing at him. I just feel really sorry for him.
Yeah, you just reminded me. Let's go drive home, Joe.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody for joining us once again. Check everything out at heartstandard.co.uk. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We'll have plenty of stuff going up from this game over the next week. Some previews for the Scottish Cup next week, and we'll be back on this channel sometime soon as well. See you all later.